Something I have dealt with for a really long time in my life would have to be anxiety and depression. I really don't talk about it to anybody. I've never really told people that I deal with it because it's not something you really discuss with, and it's just something I don't like talking about as much just because I'm always afraid of somebody judging me or it changing the way people view about me. But recently I've learned I just have to live my life the way I want to live it and not really worry about what other people think, because that's gonna control my life and I don't want that to be happening anymore. So I just want to go over what I've gone with and some things. With my anxiety, I've dealt with that for, I would say, since I was really young. As a young child, I was always shy. I didn't like talking to people, which I could probably say would be the anxiety. I probably had that a lot when I was younger too. Just really wasn't set in stone that it was anxiety. As I got older, I did notice it got worse and it started to control the things I did. Like, it would change me in the way that I would act or I would talk or be around people. I was always afraid of, and still am afraid of, the way people see me, the way people think about me. That's probably been really hard dealing with as I've gotten older. It definitely has affected my life. With the depression, I would say it started maybe a little bit in middle school, but it really didn't hit me until high school. I was really struck with it my sophomore year, which was when it probably started, of high school. There was a big issue that happened, and it kind of blew up out of proportion, and it went through Facebook and school, and a lot of people found out about it, and it wasn't a really good situation. There were people who were judging me and putting me down and saying mean things and spreading rumors that weren't true and writing things on Facebook about me. That was really hard, especially reading things through Facebook. That moment in life was definitely when my depression just hit basically a really high point. A lot of people don't know that it probably was the hardest point in time of my life. In high school, when that whole situation happened, that was when I had actually gotten to the point where I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to share my feelings. I wouldn't tell people how I really felt. I would just, go through each day not trying to get into how I felt. I just felt if I did, I would be judged and people would not like me anymore. Because after losing a whole bunch of people in my life that I thought were my friends, it just became really hard. When that big episode happened in high school, that was really hard. It lasted a good week. Something many people don't know, and maybe very few. In my life, I would say I've only told a couple people. I had actually gotten to the point where I wanted and I had tried to kill myself. It was also when I had started self-harming myself. which obviously was not good, but for me it was an outlet, and it didn't really last long, but that time in life was just really hard. I did try to go to therapy, and when I first had gone, I didn't really like the way that when I went, it was set up. After that, I just thought all therapy was going to be the same, and people didn't really listen to what I had to say. They just made assumptions and everything, so that was really hard. I didn't actually start discussing my feelings and going to therapy until last year when I started going to ATI. I decided I might as well give it a try. I didn't have to pay for it. It was put on with the school. So I decided I might as well try something new, get out of my comfort zone, so I tried it. And actually, I ended up really liking it. It was definitely a change. I started going every week, and I think at that time, I had started getting a little better in expressing my feelings, which was definitely good. When the one thing is I did like the therapy, but I ended up, as many of you know, stopped going to that school because my anxiety and depression got higher, and it got to the point where I would start having really bad panic attacks because there was a class and there were people and instructor that just I couldn't deal with, so I decided to stop going there. I figured it was better for me to focus on my mental and emotional health than continue going somewhere where I knew it was just going to get worse. And I didn't really want to keep going through feeling really crappy. The main reason that I decided to make this video is because I wanted to explain the reasoning behind my tattoo that I had recently got. One of the main reasons I actually originally thought about getting it was because I have noticeable cuts on my arms, the scars, and I'd noticed, like, a lot of times I always wore long sleeves because I didn't want people seeing them. Then I started wearing short sleeve just because I'm like, I might as well get over it. They're on me forever, so I came up with the idea to get something to cover it, because I know a lot of people had gotten a tattoo to cover their scars. So, what I got was words, and it actually says live to learn to love, and love to laugh. I came up with it from looking up ideas, like the words live and love I saw, and then I came up with laugh because I just really liked the way it sounded, so I came up with the saying. I actually looked it up beforehand to see if that was actually a saying, and I was glad it wasn't, so I could say it was an original idea. So the live to learn, I put that because through life you have to live, and you need to learn to live through your mistakes. And it's hard, but it's something everybody needs to learn to do. Everybody makes mistakes, and they're going to regret those mistakes. Especially things I've done, I regret my mistakes. But you're going to have to live through them and forget them. So that's like the best thing to do. Learn to love. I put that because I need to learn to not only love others, but love myself. That's one thing I've always dealt with, is learning to love myself and the way I am, and that I'm a unique person and there's nobody else like me. So just be who I am and learn to appreciate the fact that I'm different than anybody else, and that's the way I was made. So, and then the love to laugh, I put that because that's something I love to do. I laugh a lot. Sometimes I laugh at things that aren't even funny. I have a really huge sense of humor. And I kind of like the fact that I have a big sense of humor. It's definitely, I guess I would say, a stress reliever for me, because it's just, I don't know, I really like laughing. I laugh at a lot of things, as many of you know. So, yeah. But, the tattoo that I got, it definitely, gives me strength and hope, because when I saw the scars before, it would bother me a little bit and bring me back to the bad times that I had. It also gives me a better outlook on life, because I read it and I'm like, oh, it's definitely a reminder of something I need to do, is definitely learning to love myself and others. It's something I kind of struggle with. Lastly, I would say the biggest thing also is the living to learn through my mistakes. I've had a hard time trying to do that. Nowadays, now that I'm older, yes, I still get made fun of, and I'm still bullied. But now I have a more positive outlook on it, I guess you could say. I don't get up as upset as I used to, because I've learned to ignore other people and what they say, and just try to brush through it. I mean, there are times when I get upset about it, but I think I've definitely learned to just try to ignore the people who are really mean. The last thing I have to say is, when to people who also deal with depression and anxiety, and those who are bullied, something that I've learned in life that's really important is, when somebody is being mean or you're being bullied, definitely let somebody know, especially if it really hits you hard, because bottling up your feelings is the worst thing you can do. You're gonna feel like crap. It's gonna ruin your life, because that's what it did to me. I know it definitely ruined my life. I would have to say that I definitely missed out on some good times in life, because I bottled up my feelings and I wouldn't let people in, and I missed out on a lot. I definitely know that. Lastly, when you're feeling really down, suicide is never the answer. I've learned that. You can try to run from your problems. It just makes things worse. Things are not going to get better. Your best bet is to let somebody know, and to tell others, and try to get help. That's something that has definitely helped me a lot, is getting help. If I didn't get help, I think I would be lost still. So, something is that you should always tell people how you feel. It could save your life for sure, because it definitely did mine. So, just a reminder is to always let people know what's going on in your life. It's definitely helpful.